Hello everybody, this is Brian Sykes with AI Explore. Welcome back. We're going to take a look at comparing platforms. I'm working with two basic prompts and I'm wanting to engage these across multiple platforms just to kind of give you an idea of what kind of output you're going to get and what that platform looks like. So here we go. We're going to start with Midjourney 5.2. This is my first prompt, is photograph of Asian Lara Croft. Sneaking, look at the camera, solemn, shot from movie, hyper-realistic skin, ultra-detailed, cinema composition shot, deep depth of field, full-length wide-angle shot, a cinematic scene, authentic, candid, hyper-realistic Reuters, photorealistic, plus HDR, plus f-stop 1.8, detailed shadows and textures, aspect ratio is 16:9. Okay, so there's a lot involved in this prompt, but I really want to throw a whole bunch of things at the render engines to see what it's going to do. And I'm looking at two different things. One is a human element where I'm kind of throwing in some interesting twist, and then the second thing is more of a creative expression of an architectural cityscape that's more imaginative. So this is the first, and I've rendered each of these up so you can get a look at each of the prompt results. The quality again with Midjourney is just fantastic, so consistently a good thing. Midjourney 5.2. This is the photograph of the architecture of blue, the city of Fantasia, a city built with the essence of blue, awash with a sense of tranquility, depth and mystery. Arches leading into the heart of the city mimic the gentle curves of waves and feels like walking underwater. Streets are translucent, refracting sunlight in a spectrum of azure hues, aspect ratio of 16:9, and here's each of these renders in Midjourney 5.2. Okay, I've worked off of the same basic prompt structure for each of the platforms, utilizing a 16:9 as it's available, 4.3 when it's not, and basically what the most image platforms call landscape, which is a 4:3. So this is Adobe Firefly Image 2, and this is their beta. This is again with my Lara Croft. And this was a huge step up for Firefly, major advancements there. And then this is with the architecture of blue. What I was noticing with the Firefly is the imaginative architecture tends to have more of a painterly look, even though these are meant to look photographic. This is a similar concept that I'm running into with a lot of platforms, is when it goes to imaginative architecture, it kind of gets a little blurry on the lines and how it creates those. Okay, this is Leonardo.ai, and this is using photoreal. This is a different kind of platform. The structure is very similar to most of the SDXL style platforms, and you can actually utilize some variations of Stable Diffusion as well as some other training models. So this is the first with Lara Croft. And again, the quality for Leonardo AI on the photoreal side is really quite good. Compositionally, these are really nice. And then with architecture of blue. Again, note the detail in this, that it has almost a watercolor-esque styling, which is appropriate because those were water-based images. Okay, so next is SDXL. This is using the Discord to access, and so when you're doing that, it gives you the A or B option. And so I reran this prompt twice just so you could have 4 images to look at. The quality of SDXL is really, really nice. You get a lot of good textural elements, and just again, the images are pretty impressive. It's kind of funny, the character in the background almost looks like something from a video game, which of course this is where Lara Croft comes from. Next is going to be the architecture of blue. And note what I've mentioned before is when you're trying to do architecture and you're giving it more of a creative expression, it tends to become more artistic in nature rather than photorealistic. But again, these are quite nice. This one was probably the favorite of the SDXL. I really like what it did with this one. Not quite sure exactly what it is, but visually it's very appealing. Distillery, this is another Stable Diffusion application, and this is with the Lara Croft. And then Distillery again, looking at the architecture of blue. I think this one did a really good job overall for architecture. I was impressed with the cleanliness of the line, and I really like its interpretation here. The archway, that's definitely got a kind of ocean wave mindset. This is really quite pretty. Okay, and then a new entry into the field of generative AI is Moosavar. A new entry is Moosavar.ai. This is an India-based company, and the quality they brought to the market right out the gate has been quite phenomenal. So here's our first is Lara Croft. Now, one thing that Moosavar has is a 4K option out the door. So that means you can upscale with really quite nice resolution. This is a 4K image. You can see it takes it all the way to the edge, and this is very clean imagery. And then this is an exploration of the architecture of blue. And again, I'm seeing a similarity with the others where it becomes more painterly when you're asking it to do creative architecture. Not bad, but again, you see that the hard lines just simply aren't there. Okay, this is another application called ReCraft.ai. I wanted to pull this up first because its structure allows it to create, as you see, there's different styles. There's vector art, there is illustration, there is icon, there's 3D illustration, photorealism, and logo. All of the ones I'm going to run in here are going to be photorealism. And so here's the first of Lara Croft. So even though it says photorealism, this almost looks like a 3D render. And then for the architecture of blue, more illustrative in nature, this is what ReCraft tends to create. Okay, I'm coming into next labs.google, and I gave it the prompt, just showing you the architecture of blue, city of Fantasia, and this is the thing. And then also I did a Lara Croft in this, but I put down here below for the Lara Croft image request, it simply ignored it, and it let me know it could not, would not, and does not create such images. I tried a lot of variations all the way down to image of Lara Croft with the same results each time. So I think the idea with labs.google is it's trying to steer clear of people. But here's the renders that it created for the City of Blue. And the way Google does in its search is much the same way when you do a Google search and you're looking for a result. It doesn't always give you exactly what you typed in. It tries to interpret what you've written. And so this is what it's done. The long prompt that I gave for the City of Blue, what it's done is it's given me 4 variations of that description and then created something based around it. So the first one is a cartoon of a city made of blue blocks with the blue sky and blue water. And then look at what it does with the second one. A photo of a city with blue buildings, blue water, blue sky, taken from a drone. A drawing of a city made of blue crystals with blue moon and blue stars. And then last is a 3D rendering of a city made of blue glass with the blue ocean and blue mountains. So what it's done is it's basically reinterpreted my prompt request and gave me something totally different. Next is Bing Create, and the platform it's using is Dall-E 3. This is similar to what we ran into with Google. No images could be created. So it's basically let me know, and it says unsafe image content detected. And again, I think it's because Dall-E 3 is trying to steer clear of working with pictures of people. But when it came to the renders of Architecture of Blue, this is what it produced. These are really not too bad. Again, this looks almost like a pencil drawing that's been watercolor overlay. I do like what it did with the archway here, and there's definitely a sense of like ocean waves or currents under the sea. Next is LimeWire, and the platform engagement here, I'm using the model of Blue Willow version 4. This is an upscaled. Originally, Blue Willow you accessed through the Discord, and now it's underneath LimeWire. And here's the renders of Lara Croft, and then of the blue architecture. And that's pretty much it. So just a quick run through of the different platforms that are available. There's others out there, but the others don't tend to go as high detailed, and there's other platforms that are more image specific. But I just wanted to walk you through a few different major platforms for generative AI, text to image, and let you see what's available. Enjoy. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this latest episode of AI Explore. It's kind of fun to walk through a number of applications and give you an idea of what's out there and get a little bit of a comparison of the visuals using the basic same prompt. If you're interested in kind of diving deeper into generative AI as a whole, there's a lot of resources that are available. For those who aren't engaged on LinkedIn, follow me there. This is a great platform where I'm on a daily sharing content related to generative AI focused on creative professionals. I also have on aiexplore.co, aiexplore.co. I have a number of books, of workshops, and just some freebies that are out there as PDFs, digital books, where you can learn the crafting of prompts inside of generative AI. If there's things that you'd really be interested in learning more about in the generative AI space, comment below on LinkedIn, send me a personal message, and I'll work together to put together some resources that could be an asset for the community. Anyway, enjoy, and thanks so much for being a part.